What's up, risk managers? My name is NASDAQ Anonymous, and I'm addicted to the NQ. And boy, is she one hell of a drug. And welcome to tonight's NA meeting, where we'll discuss the economic data for the week, analyze today's session, and from that, build a winning game plan for tomorrow's price action. And if you haven't done so already, you can show your support by subscribing to the channel. And with that said, let's jump into the charts now. This is tomorrow's data. Be mindful that all times are in Central Time, and we have a small block of news scheduled for tomorrow, so let's jump into it. At 9 o'clock, we have existing home sales for the month of June. Also at 9 o'clock, we have the Richmond Fed for the month of July. And at 12 and 3:30, we have the 2-year note auction, and we have some crude news. And now that we know what to expect, let's jump into the charts and create a game plan for tomorrow's price action. This is the block of price action that we traded during today's stream. And today was definitely a trend day. And as I analyze the charts, I see 5 clues that's going to be essential for helping us find the best trades going into tomorrow's price action. So let's talk about it. In the overnight session, we saw the market gap open and we saw a move of around 114 points to the upside before the bears were able to step in and knock price down. Their objective was to fill this gap that was left by the market, a gap between 719 and 706. But as you can see, the bears failed to fill that gap. And from this failure, we saw a move of around 308 points to the upside before the bears were able to step back in right at this range, and we saw price knock down. Now, the bulls did find support here, and we saw an additional move back up into this range where we did see this massive sell-off from it. Now, the objective is still to fill this gap. However, we do see that the bears failed to do so. The bulls did find support here at this range, and from this range, we saw a move back up into this range. And so far, we've seen 1, 2, 3 rejections from this area. However, I also see what could potentially be a sweep on this liquidity as we saw price head towards the downside towards the end of the session. And based on this price action, this is what I'm going to be looking for going into tomorrow's session. Now, there are some key areas that the bulls are going to have to defend. And if we see the bulls fail to defend these areas, then we can definitely count on a massive move to the downside and potentially the bears finally filling this gap before we see any movement to the up or downside. And if you look over here at the hourly chart, this is where the bulls are going to have to defend. They're going to have to defend this range between 918 and 895. You can see that there's VWAP, the 21, and the 50 EMA hugging this area. Coincidentally, there is a range of support here also. So I do expect, as price trades into this area, I do expect for them to try to bounce price back into this range and potentially break out. Now, we've been seeing a lot of bearish momentum, and technically, the market is still in a downward trend. And this move was a slight breakout of that downward trend. So this move, the test of support of this trend line, is going to be essential for the bulls if they want to trade price higher. Now, if they fail to defend this area, my next area of support will be around 860 to about 838. The bulls are definitely going to have to defend this area, because if we do see a break of that range between 918 and 895, this will be the last level of support. Because a break of this level, we can definitely see 795. And if we do break that 795 level, then the market objective will definitely be to fill this gap. Now, let's talk about if the bulls actually defend these areas and we don't see a break of structure. My eyes is going to be this range right here, a range between 2095 and 116. I believe that if the bulls do pull back, they find support here at this range or the range between 860 and 838. This area right here will definitely be where bears will be waiting, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a massive move down. But the price action overnight is definitely going to be essential for our bias going into tomorrow's trade. Now, if you're enjoying the content and appreciate the value that me and my trading partner provides to the trading community, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the release of our next NA meeting and live streams. And with that said, let's jump into an ES chart. This is an ES chart, and this is the block of price action that we traded during today's stream. And just like the NQ, we did see a gap open on the ES, but unlike the NQ, the bears were able to fill that gap before making a 55-point move to the upside, trading back into this range. We did see the bulls fail to take price higher here, bears stepping in, the bulls taking it back up into this area before we saw a massive move to the downside going into the evening session. Now, during the stream today, what I was looking for, I was actually looking for price to tap into this area around 615, which we got towards the end of the session. We did see a move down, but currently we see price trading in a range. And if you look over here at the hourly chart, we can see that price has made a double top. And based on this price action, here's what I'm going to be looking for going into tomorrow's session. Now, I'm looking for the bears to pull back here. What I want to see a pullback, and I want to see the bulls hold that 590 to about 585 level. And from here, I want to see the bulls find support and make a move higher, retesting this high and possibly retesting an area around 622 to about 627. However, price is currently here in this area of resistance. And if we don't see price hold here at 590 to about 585, the next level that I'm going to be looking at is going to be around 562 to about 558. Now, if we do see a pullback and we see the bears push through these levels and the bulls failing to defend these areas, we can definitely see a move to the downside, retesting this low. Based on the structure on both markets, my bias is that we'll see that move down. And if we do see price trade higher overnight, we only have a small room for upside before the bears will come back in, and we can definitely see that move to the downside. And in summary, we saw both markets have a bullish open after having 3 days of straight sell-off last week. Price has reached into heavy areas of supply in both markets. And finally, the bulls are going to have to prove that they want higher prices by holding the key areas that was mentioned in this video. And that's all I have for tonight, risk managers. And you can watch us trade these concepts live by clicking this video. We'll see you there.